Yo, what is going on, my fellow wrestling fans? Welcome to a brand new week, and welcome to a brand new edition of what we like to call the Clash of Le Champions, where we talk about the different personalities, controversy, storylines, and everything in between that center around this world we know and love as professional wrestling. I am your host, the vegan you believe in, Conscious Kurt, aka the Professor in the flesh as always, and my co-host needs no introduction, but fuck it, he's gonna give y'all one anyway.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. This is tag team partner Jonathan Randall, the adventurer himself, at your guys' service. And today is our special prediction episode because Bad Blood is coming up this Saturday, ladies and gentlemen, October 5th in Atlanta, Georgia, on Peacock, ladies and gentlemen. That's where you guys can watch it. Bad Blood, ladies and gentlemen. I cannot wait. And I'm predicting that outside of WrestleMania, this will be the best premium live event of 2024.
It's possible. The card is stacked enough and interesting enough where that could happen. But I will say this. I feel like not getting Taylor Swift's Bad Blood song for the theme song was a missed opportunity.
You tripping right now. Just stop.
I mean, it's better than the Making the Stallion song they got for SmackDown.
Well, wait a minute now. Just last week, you're just saying how like, oh, it is what it is. It's only 30 seconds.
I didn't say I liked it. But I just said that it's not like anything that have a meltdown over.
I mean, I don't know. People are entitled to their opinion. Me personally, I didn't like it though. I think everybody else was on the same boat, but it is what it is. I don't even know what's the theme song for Bad Blood anyway.
I figured it would be like a Migos song or something because they were like kind of in the promo video a few months ago where like Cody was driving with one of them to the State Farm Arena.
Right.
And also, speaking of Bad Blood, it was also announced last week that the host of Bad Blood are going to be the women's tag team champions, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, which people were also having a meltdown over, saying like, oh, what do we need hosts for a B-level PLE? What do we need hosts for? It's a waste of their talent. It's a waste of their time. Yikes. That's all I got to say to that. Yikes.
Yeah, yikes is right. There is one thing I do want to say. So I actually finished the Vince McMahon documentary, and I was actually right for what I was saying last week. That documentary is mainly for like the non-wrestling audience because if you don't know anything about it, that's mainly for you guys. 95% of the stuff they were talking about in that documentary, I kind of like already knew this. There were a couple of things that they did talk about that were very interesting to talk about. But again, I just felt like this was a thing that Netflix was trying to like to jump on. Because I first remember they had canceled it at first when the whole, controversy came about Vince McMahon. But now they wanted to jump on it just to get that attention or whatever. So, I'm not saying it was a bad documentary. It was just mainly stuff that, look, if you're a non-wrestling fan and you're aware of the Vince McMahon situation, this is something that, oh, you know what, I want to look into this and watch it. Pretty much.
Yeah, it's more for like a non-wrestling fan. If you like haven't watched WWE in years or you never watched it at all, like then you would have gotten a lot more out of it and like said, oh, what the fuck? I can't believe he did this. I can't believe he did that. But us as wrestling fans who've been watching for years, like none of that stuff we saw in the documentary really surprised us, with the exception of several things that I did see in it. Like one example of when Vince was talking about the Rita Chatterton incident, how he like didn't do it. But then after he said that, he said, even if it was a rape, the statute of limitations ran out, so there's nothing they can do about it.
Oh, are you talking about the situation when they're in overseas, right? That rape situation. That's what you're talking about.
No. That female referee from the '80s that he got accused of raping.
Right. Oh, that one. Oh, right. Yeah. See, that was one of them that I didn't know about. Again, that was one of them.
Yeah, that's kind of similar to when O.J. Simpson wrote that book. If I did do it, this is how it happened.
Mm.
Yeah, that also the episode 5 when they talk about like the whole McMahon family, how they were all like characters on TV, and
Yeah,
also like his relationship with Shane. That part I did find interesting though. That part where they talk about his relationship with Shane, and that one
yeah,
story that Paul Heyman told of like when Shane had an idea that Vince didn't like, and then Shane was kind of fighting him on it, and then Vince like grabbed a knife and then he pointed at his heart and said, "Right here. If you care about this idea so bad and if you want it so badly, stab me right here in the heart. And if you can't, I know you're not man enough to make that decision."
yeah. That,
The fuck?
yeah.
The fuck?
One of the reasons
And it,
why Shane had left in 2009.
can you fucking blame him?
No,
It's one thing when you have somebody like that as your father, but when you have somebody like that as your fucking boss,
you know what? There was one thing that Vince said that was actually right. That I agree with him. You cannot. It's not a good idea to work with family in a business. Bring your family into a business. It's not a good idea.
or to work with him, his crazy ass.
It's just in general.
But what about that dumb shit he said about Undertaker at WrestleMania 30? How like he didn't have a concussion, he was just traumatized because of the fact that he was going to be losing and the streak would be ending. What? Where the fuck did you get that from, son? Like, are you that fucking out of it? Are you that fucking tone deaf that you would say some dumb shit like that? Are you fucking out of your mind? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. That,
You're a fucking dumbass.
yeah. When they went into the whole, Benoit thing, and then, that kind of slowly had a transition to them going PG, and then, talking about how us fans, how we felt about that. I was like, oh, speaking the truth on that one.
Yeah, because you could say what you want about them doing it for sponsors and doing it to like, take the heat off of themselves,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, the product got worse.
Yeah.
Anybody in their right mind can agree on that.
Right. And again, that's one of the reasons why I left. I stopped watching wrestling, 2009. So,
And even though we came back and we're fans again, a lot of the dumb shit Vince was doing made it challenging for us to stay fans, specifically 2019.
right.
Yeah, and also, I'm not gonna lie, Stone Cold Steve Austin kind of disappointed me a little bit with his comments on the whole CTE thing when he said like I don't believe in it, I'm not a CTE guy, as if like CTE is like a music preference.
Well, I mean, I think the reason why he said that because it never, I mean, it hasn't happened to him, and it's really not fair for him to say that because, like,
He's had concussion, but he's had concussions before. As even at SummerSlam '98, he had a concussion.
yeah, I mean, yeah, he had concussions before though, but like, CTE is like a different that's like a, you know what it is. You know what CTE is. CTE
Yeah,
is,
it's more of a disease.
yeah, it's different, but I don't know. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but then one person who came off bad, I know you're a big fan of this person, but one person who really came off bad in the last episode was Bruce Pritchard.
Oh, about,
How he was defending Vince and how he was saying how like I don't like the documentary because it turned out to be a hit piece and like you can talk about all the good things Vince did and how he like paid for my wife's cancer treatment and all that. And look, it's nice that he did that. It's nice that he gives the legends a payday when he doesn't have to and all that good stuff. Those things are fair, but you can't overlook the foul shit that he has done because there is a list of it a mile long. If you want to acknowledge the good that he did, you also have to acknowledge the bad that he did. Whether you're a fan of his, whether you're his friend, whether you're his family member, whatever the fuck, you can't turn a blind eye to that shit.
I know, and I'm quite sure there's not the only person who hasn't. I mean, there's probably a lot of people who it's probably like a loyalty thing. You know what I mean? It's just been in the trenches with this guy, with Vince, and again, I'm just saying I'm going based off how other people are feeling because of they work for him and what they've done, and I'm not saying that's not the only Bruce Pritchard's not the only person who feels that way. We've seen this before over the months.
Dale Briscoe, Mark Henry
Right.
also being another
Right.
example.
But overall, I mean, it was I thought I expected different from the documentary, but it was just pretty much like stuff that like wait, I kind of like know this stuff already, and I kind of felt like kind of It was a little bit of waste of my time. I was like, why am I watching this? But then again, I said 95% of the stuff I knew, which means there was 5% of stuff that, oh, I didn't know, which was okay. This is worth the listen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll say the best episode out of it was probably episode 5, like the one about the whole family, like when they
Yeah,
showed the
yeah.
storylines with like Shane, Stephanie, like when they became characters, and then like how Shane eventually left, and how like Shane, like all he ever wanted was like his dad's approval, which I guess in a way explains like all the crazy ass stunts that he would do.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but overall, I will say you really come out of that documentary not liking him at all. And Netflix didn't bury Vince McMahon. Netflix didn't make Vince McMahon look bad. Vince McMahon made Vince McMahon look bad.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can use that excuse of, oh, the media made things look a certain way. The media's out to attack me. They're always trying to label me something that I'm not. Nah, bro, you have too many red flags, too many instances of you being in the wrong where there's no denying it.
Nope.
Yeah, so good riddance, asshole. You will not be missed. Before we move on, I just wanted to say, like, despite the fact that most of this stuff was stuff we already knew and it wasn't like anything like eye opening to us, the documentary actually did very well. It was number 4 on views for the week for Netflix.
Oh, okay.
And also, I thought it was very well done, regardless of like if I knew that information already or not. I feel like Netflix did a good job with the way they put it together.
Hmm.
Got a lot of good talking heads too.
Yeah.
Even your boy Dave Meltzer was on it.
Oh, screw that. I just
I didn't mind him being on there. It's fine. He's a
there
wrestling
was just certain
historian.
things that he kind of like. I think what was the first? I think was it the first episode or the second episode? He was pretty much like kind of like just downplaying WrestleMania 3. That talk about the fans and all that, and talking about Hogan and Andre. Hogan and Andre did wrestle, and Hogan has slammed Andre before. I'm like, well, dude,
He
stop.
did. He
I
did.
know, but
There's
he
footage
did
of it.
no stop. I know that. We know that, but you got to remember it was a different time. It was 1987. It's not like everybody knew at the time. They were doing it to make the event bigger. Yes, they had Russell before, but how the way Dave Meltzer was putting it down was like he was low key trying to like put the event down. Like, dude, stop.
I didn't get that vibe from him. The biggest thing he was just downplaying was the attendance announcement. How it wasn't really 93,000; it was actually a lot less. Regardless of how many people it was, because none of us will ever know for sure. It was still a lot of damn people in that place that day, and that event is historic and
Right,
will still go down as one of my favorite WrestleManias.
right. We don't know that. But at the same time, it was kind of like he was like shitting on. I'm like, bro, can you like shut up? Like, why are you like shitting on it? I didn't like that. And yeah, okay, so we knew that okay because of Hogan and Andre. Well, you got to remember, Kurt, that was 1987. It's not like social media was there and we knew that. Oh my god, like we seen this before. No, come on.
The main part I liked from Meltzer was when he was talking about the steroid trial.
That right. That was on that part. Yeah, I was fine with that. I just said when he was kind of like with the WrestleMania 3, I'm like, bro, you shut up. Just stop. You're coming. You're not coming off good, in my opinion. But everything else, I was like, whatever about. I was like, okay,
How you feel about Meltzer in that sense is how many people felt about Bruce Pritchard in that other segment.
true.
Yeah. And like I've said before, I've like kind of like seen that in Bruce Pritchard before on the podcast, and then just seeing it on that part of the documentary that kind of solidified it. And yeah, everybody took him to task for that. Yeah, he did not have a lot of fanfare after those comments.
Okay. Well, it's done and over with. I'm ready to move on. So,
So we had Raw this past Monday, and this past Monday's Raw opened up with Jay Uso coming out to celebrate his win of the Intercontinental Championship from the week before. And to our surprise, the Intercontinental title has a new design. Or not new design, actually
colors.
kind of received a little bit of an upgrade. Now like
Yeah.
now the globes on the belt are colored with blue as opposed to just being dark.
Yes. Very similar to the IC belt design. Back from when it was 98 when they
Yeah,
yeah, it
the
was
oval
98.
belt. The
Yeah,
oval belt.
yeah, love that belt.
I didn't like it at first, but it grew on me.
Oh, I always loved it. Always. That is memories for me.
I mainly wasn't a fan of it because I liked the design before that so much, and for them to go away from that, I was not happy initially.
Okay. That design that they had, from '99 up until I think they had what up until it was like 2011 when they had that design. But yeah, I love that design. It brings back memories for me. So, but yeah, with this one, yeah, it was an upgrade and it looks way more better. There's like more, it has more detail to it, and it looks way much better. So, I love it.
Yeah, I'm still not crazy about the design per se, but adding that to the belt makes it look a lot better than it did before. Yeah, huge improvement.
Oh hell yeah!
So Jey Uso came out to the crowd, and also before he came out to the crowd, his son was actually with him.
Right.
Yeah, I like seeing that. Yeah, he came out to the crowd to celebrate, but he was actually interrupted by Braun Breaker. And Braun
Mhm.
Breaker said he was not going to attack him or spear him or be a sore loser. He was simply going to congratulate him for beating him the week before.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like, okay, but part of me was like, hmm. But I was like, is he really going to turn babyface? Because I was like, as I said this a couple weeks ago, or it was last week, because pretty much Braun Breaker has turned babyface, right? But I said to myself, man, I kind of when that happened, I was like, wait, I kind of wanted these two to continue feuding. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if he's like kind of being shady and like probably will turn on him later down the road though. But I want to see these two continue to feud later down the road because if they don't, I mean, who else is going to feud with Jey Uso in the future?
Well, he will have a match on Raw next week as his challenger for the Intercontinental title will be none other than Xavier Woods, whose relationship with Kofi Kingston is falling apart before our very eyes. As this past
Mm,
Monday on Raw, Xavier Woods kind of got a suspect like victory over Rey Mysterio after taking off his mask and then rolling him up.
wow.
And then like him and Kofi were talking about it, and Xavier like swore that it was an accident. He swore that he wasn't like intentional or anything like that. And then later on that night, Kofi Kingston had a match with Chad Gable, and as Kofi Kingston was attempting to do the Trouble in Paradise, Chad Gable's leg got pulled by Xavier Woods, which caused Kofi Kingston to fall down and miss the move, and that would ultimately lead to him losing the match. And even backstage in the background of a segment between Gunther and Braun Breaker, which we'll get into in a few minutes, you could see Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston arguing in the background. And there was footage actually caught of this that was released on WWE's social media page afterwards. And yeah, it's not looking good between these two. It is getting ugly, son.
I told you. I told you that hey, bound for a breakup. That's to happen.
I'll be honest, this is the best thing that Kofi and Xavier have been doing on TV in years.
True, I agree. I told you this is what this happens, man.
And they're saying the black wrestlers don't get enough attention on the shows.
Oh my god.
I know you've been seeing that float around lately. I know that's been like really a big topic
Well,
of
I've been
discussion.
hearing. Well, yeah. I mean, well, I've mostly been hearing about black male wrestlers haven't been not put on a card on a PLE. That's what I've mostly been hearing.
And also, the last time a black wrestler won a singles match at a PLE was at SummerSlam 2022 when Bobby Lashley beat Austin Theory.
Right, I remember that.
And apparently, WWE's been made aware of this, and maybe they might be making some changes. I mean, look, I can kind of see why people would be a little upset, but I don't think it's to the point where like WWE's like discriminating against the black wrestlers on purpose or anything along those lines. But I do feel like it's been a little bit of a step down, like with certain people, because obviously Bobby Lashley's not in the company anymore. He wasn't really used as much after Triple H started taking over. But just in
Right.
general, one thing as far as the PLEs go, they only have 5 matches on the PLEs nowadays, and it's not just the black wrestlers that are getting left off. A lot of people are getting left off of them.
I agree, and I think my issue is that like some of the like the black male wrestlers are not like they're not being really been pushed into like certain situations. So like, okay, you know what? Potential hasn't been really been pushed. So I think like when you look at the Xavier Woods situation, that's like okay, that's potential. That's why I said last week. That's why I said Montez Ford needs to be singles, man. Got to be singles competitor. There's no telling what this is going to do for him.
Hey, it could happen. Anything's possible. Eventually, Brett and Anvil split up, and Sean and Marty split up. We all know how that went down. I just hope that if Montez and Angelo Dawkins split up, I just hope it doesn't go down that way, where like Montez Ford like throws him through a glass window, like Angelo Dawkins just goes into obscurity. I just hope it doesn't go down that way. Yeah, we don't want those kind of problems.
Oh, we don't know what's going to happen. I mean, you said it yourself. Maybe Hawkins may be the bigger star. You see that potential we've never seen. It happens.
Yeah, but with the Xavier and Kofi thing, there's a chance they could stretch this all the way to WrestleMania.
Possible, yeah.
I wouldn't mind that. It's been interesting so far. It's been one of the better parts of Raw, honestly. And yeah, anything can happen with that. But we will see
Hmm.
what happens on Raw Monday when Xavier Woods challenges Jey Uso for the Intercontinental title. And I think we have a good idea of how that match is going to turn out.
Yeah. I mean, Jey Uso just got the title. I mean, come on.
Yes, he just got the title. And yeah, he's not losing it anytime soon. But another person who probably won't be losing his title anytime soon, although he will be defending it on Raw this Monday, is the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. As this past Monday, after being taunted by Sami Zayn and laying his ass out with a powerbomb, he finally accepted his challenge. And it will be taking place Monday night on Raw. And after the segment in which he laid out Sami Zayn, he actually had a face-to-face confrontation backstage with Braun Breaker.
Ooh.
So it looks like Braun Breaker is turning babyface.
Yeah, he did. I think after that handshake with Jey Uso, I mean, that really solidifies it. So,
Yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. And also in the main event on Raw, we had the last monster standing match between Braun Strowman and Bronson Reed. And yo, this match was wild, son. Then again, I wasn't expecting any less with these two. But yeah, this match was crazy, all over the place. They were like putting each other through tables, putting each other through chairs, putting each other through the railing. And they even freaking made the ring collapse with the freaking superplex.
yeah, I know.
Madness.
Been a long time since we've seen that.
But the match concluded after a returning Seth Rollins came in and curb stomped Bronson Reed onto the steps, which caused him to be unable to answer the 10 count and let Braun Strowman win the match.
Wow. What a finish to that match.
Yeah, that match was great. And yeah, great conclusion. Now that sets up Rollins and Bronson Reed to feud. And yeah, I don't have any complaints.
Absolutely not. This is what you know what I am you know what at the same time I'm not surprised that Seth Rollins came back because I saw him was it the day before that he was at a Baltimore Ravens game.
I'm not surprised either. Yeah, because I kind of saw him at the football game the day before. I think it was a Ravens game.
Yeah.
And I think Angel
Yeah, that's
Reese
what I
was
said.
there.
He was
Yeah,
at,
Angel Reese was there too and all that.
yeah, that's what I just said. He was at a Baltimore Ravens game the day before. So I wasn't surprised that he came, that he returned. So
Yeah, Raw was solid on Monday, and that Raw actually marked the final 3 hour Raw on USA and the final 3 hour Raw until it moves to Netflix.
but also we forgot to mention one thing that happened on Raw that night.
What happened?
That was the final segment, face to face segment between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and the Hell in a Cell was there.
Yes, they had the face off in Hell in a Cell. There was even one shot from it that like was a meme on Facebook the next day of like this one security guard looking super scared as CM Punk was like staring at him.
What?
Because we know what happens in all these segments when they have extra security and all that. All the security guards end up getting their ass beat
Oh yeah, usually.
9 times out of 10. Yeah, but it was the perfect final segment to lead into this Saturday for Bad Blood. And yeah, this is definitely going to go down as the feud of the year. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it pays off this Saturday. So with that being said, let us get into our Bad Blood predictions.
Yes.
So, in a match that was made official this past Friday on SmackDown for the Women's Championship, we have Nia Jax defending her title against Bayley.
I called it. I knew that this was going to happen, and um, yeah, I knew it. I thought that maybe I don't know, maybe it would have been a triple threat, maybe, but no, it ended up being Nia Jackson Baylor. I'm okay with that. You know, after what I saw this past week on SmackDown, there was a little bit of altercation between Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton backstage, if you remember that.
Little
And a lot of people are,
confrontation. Nia Jax threatened the shit out of her.
I know, confrontation. But and a lot of people are saying how like, hey, this could be a potential, face turn, or for Tiffany Stratton that she made. This may be the opportunity she'll cash in. I think Nia Jax will retain the title, but Tiffany Stratton is going to cash in on her.
Yeah, I could see that happening. It's very possible, especially after what we saw last week. And
Yeah.
also, I could see a scenario where Bailey may get screwed by Naomi because they're kind of teasing dissension between the two of them now. So I
Oh
could see
wow.
maybe Naomi possibly costing her the title either accidentally or unaccidentally, and that could lead to a feud between the two of them.
Okay.
Who's Mercedes Monet's better BFF? But yeah, I do think Nia will retain. I don't think Bailey gets the belt back, and there is a strong possibility. I do kind of think it will happen where Tiffany Stratton will cash in on her and become the new champion. I fucks with that outcome.
Yeah. Same.
So moving on, we have for the first time since their breakup at SummerSlam, Damian Priest going one on one with Finn Balor.
Yes. Ooh, finally we're gonna get this match. Man, it's really tough to say who will win this match.
I think Finn Balor wins.
Yeah. I was leaning on that.
I think this feud is far from over. It's the first match. I think Finn Balor finds a way to win by some shenanigans, interference, whatever it is. I think Finn Balor wins.
Okay. I was kind of leaning on that. Yeah.
So you have Finn Balor winning too?
Same. Yep.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that Damian Priest 24 special they did?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, it was good, but I think I mentioned before, like after watching it, you were kind of bummed that he lost the title.
Yeah. I mean, when I watch, I probably feel the same way though. But at the same time, I mean, it was. I think the timing it had to happen, with Gunther and everything. So, but I mean, it's, at the same time, it looked at least Damian Priest had a couple of good title defenses.
He did.
So let's be happy and proud to say that we actually, he had that honor of doing that. You know what I mean? Because look, there are some champions where, look, majority of their title defenses are not good, and you kind of question them. Are they the right champion? You know what I mean? No offense, Diesel's one of them.
Yeah, but he's like this Ultimate Warrior.
Oh yeah. You didn't like the title defense against Rick Rude? It was nothing to you.
Oh, at SummerSlam 90, the cage match?
Yeah.
It was fine, but just overall, Ultimate Warrior didn't feel like the guy, like Hogan was the guy. And
Yeah.
honestly, at that SummerSlam, the Hogan match was the bigger deal. The Hogan match should have gone on last.
Who did Hogan face again?
Earthquake, after that storyline where Earthquake put him out,
Oh
that
yeah,
match
right.
was the bigger deal than Warrior and Rude was that year.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because of what happened. Because Earthquake took Hogan out, and
And it's
that. Yeah.
that too, but just in general, Hogan was just the bigger star. Even with the title, Warrior was great in his own way. He had his appeal, and I'm not even a Hogan fan like that anymore. But I will admit, he was not Hogan. He did not have that Hogan factor.
Yeah, that's true. So on to our next match. We actually do have there's another women's championship match, but this is the World Women's Championship, and that will be between a rematch between Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley. Only difference is that Dominic Mysterio is in the corner of Liv Morgan and not Rhea Ripley. And Dominic Mysterio is hung up above a ring in a shark cage. Wow.
And yes, he's gonna be pissing his pants big time.
Yeah, if Rhea Ripley wins, oh my god.
No, but just in general, being up there,
Oh, you think he's scared of heights?
he's gonna be scared of heights. He's gonna be scared of being in those prison bars. Yeah, ex-con Dom is gonna get exposed on Saturday.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I hope he's wearing dark colors.
Oh, of course. I've never seen that man wear any light colors.
I hope he doesn't get a nosebleed like Jerry Lawler did back in '95 when they hung him from the cage in the top of the ceiling.
Oh God.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting dynamic. I think, despite that, though, despite the fact that Dominic will be hanging from the ceiling and he won't be able to interfere, I feel like somehow, some way, Liv Morgan's going to find a way to retain.
Mm.
And there was one scenario that Jason Solomonster brought up, which might be interesting that I think could happen.
Hmm.
Liv Morgan could get an assist from a returning superstar to help her retain her title on Saturday. And
Really?
that returning superstar could be Raquel Rodriguez.
Oh my God. What? And what factor does Raquel Rodriguez goes in? Because like, is there any like my memory may be a little I'm trying to remember something, but
Raquel and Rhea Ripley are like BFFs in real life. If you ever seen like pictures
yeah,
of them
yeah,
in NXT and all that, yeah, they were like really close. And also Rhea Ripley did beat her last year when she was the champion. And Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan used to be tag team partners. They were tag team champions actually.
yeah,
So that could also play
crazy.
into it. Yeah, so it's very possible that Raquel Rodriguez can become the newest member of Judgment Day or Street Trash or whatever they call themselves now.
Wow.
I could see that happening, man, because I kind of feel like this feud still has some juice left, and I'm not ready for it to end yet. So
No, no, no.
I could see Liv finding a way to retain, and they could stretch this out a little bit longer, maybe to Saturday night's main event.
I can definitely see that. That's wow.
WrestleMania might be a little too long, but who knows?
Oh yeah,
They
that's
could
way
go
too
that
long.
far.
Ooh, it's way too long.
Because the thing is, Rhea doesn't really need the title. She's freaking white hot even without it. She's one of the five biggest stars in the company, honestly.
Hmm.
It's her, Punk, Roman, Cody, and I guess Jey Uso. Yeah, so without the belt, she's fine. Yeah, you hear the reaction she gets every week.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I don't think she needs the title back just yet. Hell, even when she was the champion for as long as she was last year, how great were like her feuds and her title defenses for the most part.
That is true.
Yeah, so having maybe Raquel interfere, cost her the match, and being Liv's new bodyguard in a sense, that could add some more juice to this.
It does. And that's what makes this match. Is what makes the whole thing, very, like good though, because we don't know what's gonna happen. You look at the situation in the match with Dominic being hung up. It's just there's a lot. I like it.
I just hope Dominic doesn't start falling for Raquel Rodriguez after a while.
Oh God.
Shit. All right, but yeah, I think Liv finds a way to retain. So let's get on to our main events. In what I think should be the main event, but I don't think will be the main event anymore, we had the Hell in a Cell, the final blow off between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre.
Finally, this is what I predicted months ago, and it's finally gonna happen. And this match will be violent. Is going to be violent. It's going to be a good match, and CM Punk is going to win this match. Now, if you remember, about weeks prior, this match was made official. CM Punk wants to go after championship gold. So, in order to get that, he needs to get through Drew McIntyre. You don't want to leave Hell in a Cell, the loser, and then try to go after championship. No, go out with some momentum. Go out with some momentum. This is the way you do it. CM Punk wins this match.
I agree. CM Punk wins for everything Drew's done to him ever since this feud started with him trolling him when he first got hurt,
Yeah.
and then all the troll jobs he's been doing since then, and the whole bracelet thing, and then tearing the bracelet apart and putting it in his mouth a few weeks ago. Yeah, there is no other logical conclusion than CM Punk winning this match. But I will say this has definitely been one of the best parts of the show the whole year, best feud the whole year in all of wrestling. And I cannot wait to see what the final chapter of this feud has for us. Because, yo, this shit is going to be epic.
It is. It is. And they both have experience in Hell in a Cell.
Andrew McIntyre even said that the bump he took in the Hell in a Cell with Randy Orton 4 years ago almost ended his career. Like he almost thought his neck was broken.
Sheesh.
Yeah, hopefully it
Yeah,
doesn't
man.
get that bad in this match, but I do think this match is going to be brutal. Brutal, son.
Very. And I actually have some little interesting facts about Hell in a Cell, but before I get into that, we'll make our last prediction for this event.
Yeah, but I do think Punk wins. I mean, there's no logical conclusion other than that. But I do like the
Yeah,
callbacks they've been doing with this feud to other matches from '97. Like, the match at SummerSlam with Rollins being the referee was a callback to the Undertaker and Brett match from SummerSlam '97. And now
yeah,
this is going to be like a callback to the Undertaker and Shawn Hell in a Cell because it's going to be on the anniversary of that same match and also at the same event, too.
yeah. It's just crazy how. Sorry, I'm surprised how you know how far, how long it's been. I mean, it felt like it was just yesterday when the feud had just started. It was like literally, it was like January. We're already here in October, man. That's crazy where it all started from.
Yeah, it spun the whole year. It would be cool if maybe AJ Lee made a cameo, but I don't see it happening.
You never know, but
I'm still waiting to see her on that episode of Heels that I heard she was on. I've actually been watching that show. Punk has been in multiple episodes, actually.
really.
Yeah, Punk's in multiple episodes. He's kind of like, like a past his prime wrestler who's like, still working on the independents. And
Hmm.
yeah, he has a southern accent too.
Oh wow, that's
Also, Mick Foley was on an episode too, but he didn't play Mick Foley. He plays like a podcaster.
got you.
Yeah, solid show. That Stephen Amell dude is the main character. Yeah, this is the end of this feud. It's definitely gone on for a long amount of time, and now it's time for both of these dudes to move on. And there's no better way for them to blow it off. There's no better way for them to bring an end to it than Hell in a Cell. And that's what Hell in a Cell should be used for, to blow off a feud. Not just for a random match for like, oh, it's October. Let's bring out the Hell in a Cell and put random people in it with pink ropes.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank God those days are over.
I get it. They were doing it for the breast cancer thing, but that's whatever. But I'm not gonna get into that.
And thank God there's no more McDonald's playground Hell in a Cells either.
Yep. No.
All right, but we have CM Punk winning this match. Final conclusion of this feud, and I think Punk probably moves on to Gunther, and McIntyre maybe moves to SmackDown.
Yeah, as you predicted, and potentially feud with Cody Rhodes.
Possibly, but Cody Rhodes is going to have his hands full as we get into our next prediction. So, what I think is going to be the main event of the show, considering it's the two top guys in the company and it's also their hometowns in a sense, we have Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns in a tag team match, teaming up together for the very first time, and also marking Roman's very first match since WrestleMania against the new bloodline of Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu.
Wow. Ooh. Biggest question is Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes going to have each other's back? I think they will.
They don't have any other choice.
No, they don't. This is Roman Reigns' first match since WrestleMania 40.
Yep.
Yep, I have Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes winning, and got to remember they're in Atlanta. How can we forget?
Yeah, Cody's hometown and where Roman played football.
Yep.
Part of me is a little bummed that I won't be there, but
Man, I
um,
know. It's just had the bad timing for you, dude. Bad timing, but hey, at least you're going.
this is the second damn time this happened to me. I moved from Vegas like literally like a month and a half before SummerSlam, and then I moved from Atlanta a month before Bad Blood.
Oh man.
But at least I got WrestleMania and SummerSlam to look forward to next year. Hell, I could maybe still go to Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, that too. I was getting ready to say that. So
And predictably so, we have Roman and Cody winning, but Cody did tease a major promo package that will be airing on Saturday during Bad Blood that will have implications for Crown Jewel.
really, hmm.
And he's also been teasing what he may be doing at WrestleMania next year.
Wow.
So, with that promo package tease, could it be possible a certain someone could be returning?
Well, I had to see this little promo package thing.
It could be maybe the sign of The Rock returning, or it could maybe be a promo package promoting the rematch between Cody and Roman for Crown Jewel.
Mm,
Because I feel like we're gonna get a Cody and Roman rematch, and it could be maybe at Crown Jewel possibly, or maybe Saturday night's main event.
possible.
But now this makes Bad Blood all the more interesting and all the more can't miss. But it's gonna be weird. It starts at 6 o'clock at night, and actually not at 7 or 8.
Bad Blood.
Yeah, Bad Blood's gonna start at 6 because they don't want to interfere with the UFC fight that's happening Saturday night. So they're gonna end it early so that people can watch the fight.
I didn't know there was a UFC fight going on. Okay.
Yes, so that's why they're doing it earlier in the night.
Well, I'm going to be doing double duty that day anyway, though, because my Padres are still in the playoffs right now, and they have a date with the Dodgers in this divisional series. Game one's on Saturday, so I'm going to be watching both.
But yes, that's your card for Bad Blood this Saturday, 6 p.m. start time from Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, it's definitely a stat card and definitely one I cannot wait to watch. This is definitely one of the better cards they've had this year. I'll say definitely, I don't know if it'll be better than SummerSlam, but I think it'll definitely be better than Bash in Berlin was.
I don't know, man. I have a feeling this could potentially be that outside of WrestleMania, it could be potentially be a great premium live event. I can see it.
That's
I can
rough,
feel
man.
it.
Yeah, WrestleMania is hard to top. WrestleMania is
I
hard to
said
top.
outside. I said outside of WrestleMania.
Hell, even SummerSlam I thought was pretty good too.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I mean, outside of WrestleMania, you know what I mean? Like the events outside of it, potentially, I could see Bad Blood as potentially could be like the best PLE of this year. I did some homework yesterday. I was, jotting down some notes about Hell in a Cell. There's a lot of interesting facts. So we had a lot of Hell in a Cell matches, in the years of the WWE. The very first one dating back all the way back in 1997, and boy, it has a lot. It went through a lot of changes over the years. Yes, very first Hell in a Cell match took place at Bad Blood in 1997. How convenient! So, and this year's Bad Blood is on the same day as the original Bad Blood back in 1997. And originally they were supposed to bring it back in 2017, but that was the only anniversary of Brian Pillman's death, and they decided not to bring that event. They decided to name it Great Balls of Fire, which was an absolute dumb, really just a dumb mistake they did on their part. They could have called it something else, but they decided to leave Bad Blood out. Every Bad Blood event, which has been three, has featured a Hell in a Cell match, and this will be the fourth one. How crazy! All four Bad Blood events will be featuring a Hell in a Cell match. The original cell was 16 feet, 4.9 meters, and weighed, 4.9 meters high and weighed over 2 tons. That was the original Hell in a Cell design that they had. But this new one now, I think ever since 2006, the current cell is now 20 feet and weighs over 5 tons. Only two Hell in a Cell matches took place on Raw. Both of those matches went to no contest. Both of these matches actually were in '98, I believe. It was so you had Undertaker, Austin versus Mankind and Kane, which ended in a no contest. And in the second match, there was a Hell in a Cell match between Mankind and Kane. Crazy.
Yeah, I remember both of those. Yeah, I remember those very well.
The first Hell in a Cell match attacked. Well, I mean, would we consider the Usos versus New Day as the first tag team Hell in a Cell match?
First official one, yes, and I have to say that's one of my favorites. That's actually my favorite match from 2017 was that match.
Okay. First time the tag
That
titles
was
were
a great
defended.
feud.
First time the tag titles were defended in a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, 2017 wasn't one of my favorite years by any stretch, but one of the highlights of 2017 was that feud and that match especially.
And there you have it. I thought these notes were very interesting. It's crazy how the design of the cell has went through its changes. I remember the very first time they went to that new design in Unforgiven in 2006 because it was a bigger, taller cell, and they've been using it ever since then. I miss the original design. I miss the shorter one. But hey, I'm just glad he went back to the silver coloring the steel versus having that red one. I hated that.
Yeah, I'm just grateful that we're having a Hell in a Cell match for a feud that's warranted for it. That there's no
Yes,
more dumbass colors for the Hell in a Cell, dumbass ring rope colors for Hell in a Cell, no more Vince booking disqualifications for Hell in a Cell. We're having a Hell in a Cell for a feud that's warranted for it, a feud that needs a proper conclusion, and a feud that's going to deliver when it comes to putting on a great match.
I agree.
Yeah, Saturday night, Bad Blood, it's going down, son. It's going down.
Absolutely.
And also, let's get into some AEW news real fast, as it was announced yesterday that AEW has signed their new media rights deal with Warner Brothers Discovery, and it's going to be for $150 million per year, and it's going to include Dynamite and Collision simulcasting on both Max and TBS and TNT. And sometime in 2025, they're going to have their pay-per-views available on Max for a discounted rate.
Hmm.
So it's official. They got the new media rights deal.
That's good for them.
I mean, they have other issues they need to work out, like their attendance for one
Oh
example and
my
their
god.
ratings and all that. But
Woo.
with that aside, yo, they got their new deal.
It's good for them.
Yeah, so we'll see how that plays out. And also, it was announced today that a new person has signed with AEW, in addition to two other people who have recently signed with AEW. One of them last week we forgot to mention being MVP, and one of them who debuted on Dynamite last night being Shelton Benjamin. It was announced today that Bobby Lashley has now signed with AEW.
Yeah, and I saw that segment between Shelton Benjamin and MVP, and now with Bobby Lashley now in AEW. I mean, are we seeing a potential AEW version of the Hurt Business?
It's possible they could maybe even have Swerve Strickland a part of the crew too when he gets back.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, that's true.
Did you see Swerve Strickland on the Breakfast Club last week?
No, I mean you told me about it. I mean that's when he brought up about the whole, the black males are not on the card and everything. And you told me about
Well,
that.
Swerve was talking about on the Breakfast Club about the whole thing, how like WWE said that AEW paying Swerve Strickland the money they're paying him is like bad for business, and it says like a bad precedent. So like people are going to be expecting to get that much money going forward. And Swerve's response to that was that they only make that big of a deal out of it when the black wrestlers are getting that kind of money.
Hmm.
That was interesting. I don't know if it was really about all that, but that's Swerve Strickland's opinion. But Booker T kind of had something to say about that, saying how like we put race too much into all these conversations and make race a bigger deal than it really is.
I agree.
But look, I'm not mad at Swerve. Swerve's getting his money. If Tony Khan's willing to pay Swerve Strickland as much as he's paying him, and also Mercedes Moné as much as he's paying her, I mean, would you turn that kind of money down?
Oh, I think nobody would in that position. I mean, come on, nobody. Everybody wants to make money, but I'm going to agree with Booker T on it. I feel like just in every situation, especially if things are good, everybody just want to throw the race card a lot. I just I
I'm not gonna lie, it gets
it,
annoying sometimes. Even with
yeah, yeah. Saying what you're saying, it gets annoying. It's just like, dude, come on.
even with Kamala Harris, I'm going to use as one example. I feel like with her, it's to the point where like you're not allowed to say anything critical about her. If you say even one thing critical or, like, about her policies or things she's done or whatever, it's like, oh, you don't like black women. You don't want black women in power. How dare you attack a black woman?
Oh,
You should be ashamed of yourself. It's like, bro, if she's running for office and if she has legit done some shady things, people have the right to call her out on it.
mm-hmm.
You can't just give her a pass because of her skin color, her gender, whatever it is, or her political party. Nah, that's not right.
Oh yeah.
And as far as Swerve is concerned, yo, WWE did not want him. WWE literally fired the dude for no reason. And WWE's loss was AEW's gain.
Yep.
Yeah, so more power to him. And he even spoke highly of Shawn Michaels. He said Shawn Michaels was a real big mentor for him.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah. And also another AEW news, it was announced last week that MJF will be a character in the new Happy Gilmore sequel that'll be coming out soon.
Yeah, that too. And I heard Bad Bunny's going to be in that film too. It's just a lot of big names.
Since when does Bad Bunny play golf?
It doesn't matter. He's been in a movie before.
Is he gonna perform at like the GPA tournament or something?
I don't know what he's gonna do. All I care is he's in the movie.
I could see MJF in the movie playing the son of like the bad guy from the first one.
I can see that too. I never thought about that.
Yeah, I could see that shit. Yeah, I could definitely see that. He's like the new villain, like trying to take Happy Gilmore's spot.
True. Yeah, yeah. I never never thought about that. I was just happy. Oh, he's in the movie. Cool. Good for him. So I like seeing wrestlers. When they get like a small, what it doesn't matter, big role, small role. I love them. Seeing them in a movie. I think it's cool.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully, the movie turns out good.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's going straight to Netflix, I'm not gonna say I have a lot of faith in it because I'll be honest,
Damn.
most of Adam Sandler's movies that go straight to Netflix have not been the greatest, and even some of the movie sequels we've been seeing go straight to Netflix or streaming services have been kind of a
I
letdown
kind of hate.
in recent
Look, I ain't
years.
gonna lie though. I kind of hate that. It's a little bit of a slap in the face sometimes because it's like, dude, like I don't. It's probably maybe it's like the a studio thing where they look at it like, look, let's just stream it. You know what I mean? It's probably like a studio decision, but it kind of bothers me when I see stuff like that. Like for example, like the new Beverly Hills Cop movie when they decided
Oh yeah, what did
to
you
put
think of
Netflix.
that?
Yeah, when they put that on Netflix, I was kind of like, man, it's like that could have been out on a theater, maybe. You know what I mean? I don't know, but
Yeah, I feel like maybe that movie would have been received better if it came out in theaters, like the Bad Boys movie was.
yeah, but I liked it. I liked it. It was way better than the third one. I know that for damn sure, though.
Yo, how fucked up is it? The John Ashton dude, the dude from the Beverly Hills Cop movies, died the other day.
Yeah, just a
He
lot
was
of
in the
people.
new one. Yeah, he was in the new one.
He's only 76.
Yeah, also Dikembe Mutombo passed away. John Amos
Yeah,
from Good Times passed away.
I didn't know. Dikembe Mutombo had brain cancer.
Neither did I. Yeah, it's messed up.
I didn't know that.
Also, speaking of wrestling, Pete Rose. Fuck, man. Pete Rose. I actually met him in Vegas at my job.
I think I remember you told me that.
Yeah, I mean, he was with these two girls. I just brought him his food, and he just looked at me and said thank you. It wasn't much of an interaction, but still, I still saw the dude briefly. Yeah, it's too
Oh yeah.
bad, man. Yeah, it's too bad. He never got to
Mm,
go into the Hall of Fame either.
damn. All because of the gambling situation.
Also, not sure of the man's name, but the dude who played Whistler in the Blade movies, he also passed away.
Chris I can't pronounce his last name, but
Yeah,
his first name is Chris. Yeah.
you sound worse than me trying to pronounce Massachusetts.
Hey, you said it right.
Finally.
Hey, you finally did it. Thank you. Round of applause for Kurt. Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah, rest in peace to all those people. Yeah, it's crazy how many of these people have been dying like left and right. It feels like every day we hear the news of a new celebrity dying.
I know.
The Kembe Mutombo one bummed me out, and also the John Amos one bummed me out, especially considering that he's been dead supposedly for like over a month, and they just now put it out.
Yeah, and I heard that her daughter found out about it through social media.
Oh shit, that's not
That's
good.
what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but I was like, this. I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But rest in peace to all those people. They definitely contributed a lot to the entertainment world, the sports world, and yeah, they will never ever be forgotten.
Rest in peace.
Crazy. The Kembe Mutombo was a part of the team that, for the first time, as an A seed, knocked off a number one seed. That being in the '94 playoffs when the Nuggets knocked off the Sonics.
Well, I mean, he did get to play in NBA Finals. Remember, he was a part of that 2001 76ers team.
Yeah, 76ers team. Yeah, that played the Lakers.
Yeah, that was a very good team, by the way.
Yeah, I think the Lakers were like undefeated from like the beginning of April all throughout the playoffs, and the only
They
game
were.
they lost was the game one of the finals against the Sixers, which went to
Yep.
overtime.
Yep.
Obviously, the Lakers ended up winning the title, but still, that's still a huge feat to at least be able to beat them once out of that crazy ass run they were on.
Man.
Yeah, and also in other sad news, our best wishes to Ilya Dragunov as during a live event match this past weekend against Gunther, he suffered a torn ACL and he's going to be out for 6 to 9 months.
Damn. Oh man.
Fuck, man. Fuck. Yeah, it's sad, man. He was doing so well. He was putting on some great performances, and yeah, now he's going to be out for almost a year.
Man. Uh,
Sad, man. But we wish him the best. We wish him a speedy recovery, and just hope that physically and mentally he can get back on his feet.
Same here.
Yeah, and as much as I don't like to acknowledge this person, we have to send our congratulations to the douchebag fuck Logan Paul and his significant other as she recently gave birth to their first child this past week.
Oh,
Congratulations to them. It's funny, I just saw in a survey that Logan Paul was rated the third dumbest celebrity.
what? Really?
Yeah, like a celebrity online, they ranked Logan Paul the third dumbest celebrity.
Wow.
Madness. And NXT had its debut on the CW this past Tuesday. It did a pretty good rating, actually. It did a good rating. Had a lot of crazy cameos from the likes of Shawn Michaels, Triple H. Also,
CM
CM Punk
Punk.
was the referee for the main event, in which Trick Williams regained the NXT title. Also, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill showed up.
Nice. Even NXT even changed their logo and
Yes,
got
they
new
did.
belts. New
Got new
belts.
belts too. Looks like,
Yeah.
yeah, it is a new era for NXT. We'll see how this all turns out. I think maybe NXT can do for CW what SmackDown did for UPN back in the day.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a good point.
Yeah, CW's been around for what, 18 years?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Oh
it's been around longer than WB and UPN were.
my god. Oh man, that long. Ooh.
And I hate to say it, it's even being around as long as it's been, it's still not as relevant as either of those channels were when they were around.
True, ain't gonna lie though, because when it did first start, there was only one show on it that I liked outside of SmackDown. It was Supernatural. That was like the only show that I watched.
I would only really watch the shows that they moved from UPN, like, Everybody Hates Chris, being one
Oh yeah,
example.
that yeah. Mm.
And that show, All of Us, even though it wasn't that good anymore by that point.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy. That whole merger, like, yeah, it killed so many shows. And just that channel in general hasn't really been popping at all since it started.
It hasn't.
There's only maybe like three shows I could think of that have been hot on there since it started. Like, I think Gossip Girl was one of them, which I never watched, but I
Mm.
always knew of it.
I kind of hate mergers sometimes. It kind of sucks. I know it's like a business thing though, but I don't know, man.
Also, that show All American. That show All American, I'll say is good. I've been watching that mainly on Netflix, but that's like the one CW show I could say I've watched
I,
regularly.
I kind of stopped. I think I don't know what season. I think it was like the third season. I kind of like I just kind of just I backed off from it. I think there was like too much unnecessary drama in there.
Yeah, fair enough. It definitely gives off soap opera vibes, and yeah, but it's funny. Shawn Michaels said that whenever CM Punk is ready to retire, he's more than willing to give over control of NXT to him.
I thought it was funny. I
That's what's
thought it was
up.
funny
I think that'll be a
how
good look.
CM Punk was literally having the gauze, the short biker shorts, just like Sean did back in the day. I thought that was hilarious. See,
I think he did it for AJ.
oh Lord, and plus he was wearing his hat too, and that was like, oh my god, I can't do this. I can't.
Yo, before we get out of here, how funny would it be on Saturday at Bad Blood if they did a segment to build for a match at WrestleMania between Offset and Cardi B since they both live in Atlanta?
And they're divorced, right?
Yeah, Cardi B's calling him out for always cheating on her, and then he's calling her out for cheating on him while she was pregnant with their child.
Oh,
Yeah, this whole thing is a
mess.
mess,
Whoa,
bro. This whole thing is a
just a
mess.
mess. Oof.
I just get turned off by shit like this. I'm not gonna lie. I really get turned off by like, yeah, this kind of
Just airing out your dirty laundry out there, dude. Come on. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why I'm not a fan of a lot of these modern female rappers. That's another reason why. Like a lot of them are just very messy, like very messy publicly.
Hey, thank you for posting that. It was a week ago about the female rapper.
Yeah, Glorilla talking about like something about being a man's piece doesn't
Oh
sit
no,
right.
no, no. Not that one. I mean, about the former female rappers and how it was back then. That one.
Oh, that post about how like even though you had your little Kims and your Foxy Browns, there was still a balance between them and the other girls. Like they didn't all talk about the same shit and promote the same shit. But now it just feels like all of them are clones of each other, and all of them are just obnoxious, ignorant, and their music sucks too.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of that, your boo thing, Sexy Red's gonna be on this week's episode of NXT.
Ugh.
She's coming back.
You want me to get a disease, Kurt? You want me to get sick?
I said, ooh, baby. Oh my God.
Damn.
Babe, I love you. You're my everything. My God, bro. Look, I try to be open minded. I really try to be as open minded as I can when it comes to music and new acts and all that. But somebody like Sexy Red and also Ice Spice, I'm sorry, I cannot say anything good about their music.
You told me that Ice Spice song's fart was like the worst song that what's his name said he ever heard.
Yeah, somebody said recently, like somebody
Maxwell
famous said that
Flex.
it was the worst song ever. Yeah, the song "Think You the Shit," you ain't even a fart. You think you the shit, you ain't even a fart. That's how the song
I
goes.
heard yeah, I heard like 10 seconds of it. I was like, I can't believe this shit.
Look,
But I'm hearing it.
Megan Thee Stallion and Cardi B aren't my cup of tea, but I can see the value they bring. I can see why people like them, and they do have talent, even if it's not for me. But these other girls, nah, bro, nah, bro. But that's another story for another time. But yes, last night marked the 5 year anniversary of the debut episode of Dynamite. And crazy, bro. It's been 5 years since AEW's officially been a thing. And there's been a lot of ups, been a lot of downs, and everything in between. But through all that shit, they're still around. Yeah, look, AEW has its faults. AEW has a lot of shit they need to work on, a lot of internal shit they need to work on. But regardless of whether or not you're a fan of AEW or not, having them around is good for the wrestling business. It's good for the people who perform in the wrestling business, and it's also good for the fans too, because it is always good to have options. When WWE had the monopoly over the wrestling business they had ever since WCW ended, the wrestling business fell off hard,
Yeah.
where fans and the performers had no other choice and no other alternative other than WWE. And the product got worse, the working conditions got worse for the people there. But now with AEW, now with an alternative, it is good for everybody, whether you like it or you don't like it.
Hey man, I like the fact that we have another option, another alternative to watch. Years ago, I've always said to myself, as much as I love the WWE and I always will, but I always said to myself that, like, man, I wish there was like another like wrestling organization that could somewhat compete at the level of WWE. It wasn't TNA was around at the time, but they were nowhere near that you know that attention like AEW has been. You know what I mean? So when AEW jumped into the scene, I was like, okay, great, we have another alternative. We have something else we could watch, like something that could challenge WWE. You know what I mean? I wanted that.
And it took a while, but WWE eventually became better because of AEW in that
Mm-hmm.
competition. And also for Vince stepping
Oh
down
yeah,
too. Yeah, competition like that is healthy. Yeah, shit like that is good for the wrestling business. Like I said, it gives people options of places to work, fans options of things to watch. And yeah, it's good to have more wrestling and more quality wrestling on that level and on that stage. And I'm grateful that AEW is still around. Although I haven't been as much of a fan of what they've been putting out the last year or so, I still like it, I still enjoy it, and I still hope that they succeed.
same here.
And I just saw a post that reveals what the main event of Bad Blood will indeed be.
What?
What it's looking like now, the main event of Bad Blood is going to be the Cody and Roman against Bloodline tag match, and Punk and McIntyre is going to open the show.
What?
That's what I'm seeing right now.
Are you serious?
These things are usually not wrong. Yeah, they're usually not wrong, bro.
CM Punk and Drew McIntyre is opening up first.
Yep.
Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I know I wasn't watching wrestling. I need to speed it up because I gotta go. Didn't CM Punk and Undertaker from Hell in a Cell in 2009? Didn't that open up the show first?
That did, yes, but I think a better example I would use as far as Hell in a Cell matches that opened the show that was good and it worked out was the Edge and Seth Rollins one from Crown Jewel 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember
Hey,
that.
that worked. Look, I think it deserves to be the main event, but I understand why they're not going to put it as the main event because Cody and Roman are the two biggest stars in the company, and them teaming up is a big deal. So I get it. But yo, even I think Punk said it himself. If you're not going to be last, you might as well be first.
Yeah.
I think it'll work out, and I think Cody and Roman is going to go on last because they have some kind of angle plan for after the match is over.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, Bad Blood is this Saturday. It's going to be popping. It's going to be a big deal. Cannot freaking wait. And yes, this is what we're here for, bro. This is what we're here for, to talk about this crazy ass world we love is professional wrestling, the good, the bad, ugly, and everything in between.
That's right.
So until next time, for John Randall, this is Conscious Kurt with another edition of the Clash of the Champions. Take care, enjoy your weekend, and remember, do not be an asshole or a douchebag in real life or social media, because that toxic bullshit is for the birds.
And ladies and gentlemen, be safe, stay safe, stay blessed, and always be cool.
And stay away from those Diddy parties.